Prior to revealing the output of our culture jam, it is worth noting that as a group, we decided to create a working definition of culture jamming by synthesizing key contributions made by Derry, Weddergren, and DeLauren Finks. This operational definition, in combination with a specific set of heterodox creative techniques, as per Mowbray's logic, broadly inform, guide, and produce the overall output of our project. The three quotes on the screen primarily inform our working definition. Please pause the video here if you would like to read the quotes, but in the interest of time, we will move on to the next slide to share our working definition. In the context of this project, culture jamming assumes the shape of engaged politics in an empire of signs by means of semiotic defamiliarization, or what Derry refers to as guerrilla semiotics. Culture jamming seeks to interrupt the flow of mainstream communications and reclaim the public space ceded to consumer culture and market-driven logics. It embraces groups and individuals who deconstruct the messages of corporate power by targeting key symbols and tampering with them to uncover corporate mind control in jarring, provoking, critical, and participatory ways. With this broad definition of culture jamming in mind, I will present my group's culture jam and explain in a series of steps why and how we jammed what we did. First, I'm going to discuss the role of the DJ and its importance to this culture jam. By branding the DJ as Amazon, we channeled situationist détournement, that being, in the context of this video, the theft of an aesthetic artifact from its context and its diversion into the context of our group's own devise. The visuals in this ad are plagiarized intentionally. Keeping the aesthetic artifact the same, in particular, the placement of the DJ as above and the hands as below, and solely labeling the DJ as Amazon, shifts the ad from its original context, a dance party or club, and diverts it into a context that directly critiques a logic of power, corporate domination, and worker exploitation, which increasingly places more wealth in fewer hands. The words "Alexa, mute the workers" are controlled and or spoken by the DJ, which represents Amazon, and are emblematic of Amazon's lack of accountability to their inhumane working conditions. These words are meant to critique an abuse of power that allows for worker complaints, petitions, press, etc. to be repeatedly ignored. The hashtag #AskAlexa is an example of brand jacking that was inspired by hashtag #AskChevron and hashtag #MyNYPD. As an alternative media practice, hashtag #AskAlexa is intended to draw attention to unethical business practices, specifically poor working conditions and worker exploitation within Amazon factories that enable the consumption of goods like the Amazon Echo. So rather than ask Alexa to play our favorite songs, we should be asking her the questions Amazon chooses not to answer to. Maybe this way we can get them to listen. In addition, by including the hashtag #AskAlexa and creating a corresponding Twitter page, which will be discussed more in depth later in this presentation, this jam is inviting play and public participation. The repurposing of each sentence starter in the paragraph that features just hashtag #AskAlexa is intentional. We purposely used just, get, use your voice, and Amazon Echo to emulate a similar while conveying a radically different message that drives home our critique of Amazon's poor workplace conditions. The very small text underneath all new Amazon Echo that reads, "Escape the Amazon Echo chamber, use your voice by tweeting us at MuteAmazon and using hashtag #AskAlexa," is a call to action that intends to drive users to use their own voice on our Twitter page to amplify public participation by means of the hashtag. It also critiques corporate mind control and hegemonic worldviews that circulate via echo chambers on mainstream media platforms and more recently via devices like the Amazon Echo. Given this description, our end product is best described as subvertising, a term Derry defines as the production and dissemination of anti-ads that attempt to turn the consumer's attention in a given direction. Although the end product of this culture jam in its totality is best defined as a subvertisement or an anti-ad, we've also incorporated some other jamming techniques within this ad that are worth noting. The table on the slide indicates additional heterodox creative techniques, if you will, that we incorporated to produce an anti-ad. Please feel free to pause here and read them.
So now to discuss why we actually chose Amazon, the main reason is playing upon DeLauren Fink's idea that culture jamming is political, the company itself treats its workers in awful working conditions, such as long working hours, unsafe working conditions, etc. And with the pandemic, we've actually seen this heightened as there's unsafe working environments even with the virus going around and getting worse. So by targeting this big corporate brand, we are engaging narratives of the dominant capitalist culture. Again, using DeLorean Fink's modus operandi, we chose some key ideas to help create our jam. As we showed, we appropriate by retooling existing culture forms such as Amazon and poach the images of an ad actually put out by Amazon. We did this through art by playing upon the wording, as I mentioned. So we changed the wording from play dance music to mute the workers, and we changed the fine print on the bottom to bring attention to the awful working conditions. We kept the visuals looking fairly similar to the original ad, yet aesthetically pleasing. We will discuss this more later on in our presentation, but we decided to keep our culture jam anonymous as well as participatory through our medium we are going to use to distribute our message, being Twitter, and this will hopefully invoke greater change.
DeLorean Fink explained that by using various forms of semiotic defamiliarization, culture jamming seeks to interrupt the flow of mainstream market-driven communications. We do this by injecting the unexpected into this ad, and as a result, completely altering the meaning of Amazon's Echo advertisement. The meaning or connotation we wanted to subvert was the narrative of blissful consumption and Amazon as a company that brings joy to people. On the surface, it appears that consumers achieve happiness with Amazon's products and obtain access to unlimited benefits. We have altered this narrative by changing the meaning of the signs in the ad. The meaning of the arms, which once represented screaming, happy people at a concert or party, now represent the desperate, exploited workers at Amazon. The character with the headphones was once a happy consumer, but we have labeled them as Amazon, using the headphones to demonstrate how they are deaf to the cries and complaints of their workers. The Echo has now become a product that workers suffer under the weight of, rather than a product being worshipped by a crowd. We wanted to use the pre-existing hierarchy in the ad between the DJ and the crowd and flip it on its head to demonstrate how an oppressive hierarchy exists between Amazon and its workers. The image of a party connotes that everything is good. We have made slight changes to these signs to expose how this party is really a larger power structure that causes harm to those at the bottom. By changing the connotations of this ad, we are interrupting the flow of communication between Amazon and consumer, and as Eco says, restoring a critical dimension to passive reception. We have appropriated Amazon's ad and the Echo to contest its narratives and challenge corporate power and consumerism. The purpose of our Culture Jam is to make a political statement about the way Amazon treats its workers. The advertiser, Amazon, created this ad to disseminate a myth, which was that the Amazon Echo, consumption, and Amazon as a company are all good and that they all deliver happiness. Our goal was to break the spell that consumption is harmless. The truth we wanted to reveal was that in their quest for maximum profit and power, Amazon's workers suffer. Amazon does not prioritize their mental, physical, emotional well-being, creating a toxic environment where people are overworked and underpaid. We want to reveal the system of oppression that is hidden behind this ad, but that makes the creation of products like the Echo possible. We reveal this by altering the rules in the ad. The DJ becomes Amazon, the exploitative company. The Echo becomes a crushing device, and the crowd becomes the exploited workers. This changes the mood of the ad to something darker while still making it playful. We sought to reveal the truth, that Amazon is not listening, to show audiences what is being hidden from them.
The decision to target students as the audience for our Culture Jam was inspired by the heavily promoted student discount Amazon offers and the large percentage of young people being Amazon users, as shown by the graph on the screen. For 6 months, students get free access to Amazon Prime, which includes free and fast shipping as well as streaming services. After the trial is complete, students are given 50% off the standard price. This is an attractive deal to students as Amazon offers lower rates on essential items such as household necessities and school supplies. Many students also don't have access to their own car, so fast free shipping can be an incentive. However, the reality of how Amazon employees are treated is not highlighted because they're overshadowed by the benefits it brings the customers. These realities, which are all highlighted within the Culture Jam, include the physical and mental conditions they are put in, the loss of autonomy by being treated as a machine focused on efficiency, and the poor pay. Although Amazon is a giant corporation with many loyal customers whom we wish to reach as well, It is for the reasons stated that we decided to centralize our focus audience to be students. The access to the alternative perspective depicted in our Culture Jam provides students with the ability to have increased awareness in how their actions affect others and reflect upon the consequences. The chosen method of dissemination was the social platform Twitter. This platform was chosen, of course, in the interest of having a connection to our target audience, however, also because of its ability to make it participatory and anonymous. Although we understand the boundaries presented by the digital world and the possibility of it getting lost, it was the method which allowed participation to thrive. Also, due to Amazon's digital presence, it seemed fitting to mirror the form of interaction it relies upon. The Twitter account, named MuteAmazon, attaches the hashtags MuteAmazon and Amazon to allow a shared space where increased interaction can occur. We made the hashtag MuteAmazon in hopes of ensuring our project is participatory because of the emphasis Deleuze and Fink place on it, as the interactive aspect encourages critical thinking. The continued use of the hashtag Amazon is done to allow an extended outreach. We would also like to note that if COVID-19 was not a current boundary, the created Culture Jam would be shared physically on campus to ensure student access to it and allow physical engagement.
And that concludes our Culture Jam on Amazon. Thank you for watching.